Alright, welcome back to another G Auto Repair YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about fuses. What are they? What do they do? How do you check them? Those are the main three questions that I will be answering in this video, and hopefully it'll be a quick video. What is a fuse? Well, it is a protective device used on electrical circuits to protect that circuit from over amperage. For example, you have a light bulb or a little motor, and the motor is supposed to draw 3 amps, but for some reason is drawing 20 amps. Well, that circuit wasn't designed to handle 20 amps, so they put maybe a 10 amp fuse, which will be one of these red ones, and then once it exceeds those 10 amps, the fuse blows and it stops current from flowing. Therefore, it protects the circuit, the wires won't melt and possibly catch fire. So it is a protective device similar to a circuit breaker, only in this scenario you have to replace the fuse. The circuit breaker, sometimes you can reset, sometimes it does it automatically, sometimes you have to manually reset it. Like when you blow a circuit breaker in your house, you just flip the switch and the power comes back on. In this case, you have to replace this fuse. You can't reset it. But it's designed to protect the circuit, and in some cases components, from over amperage. That's what the purpose of the fuse is. How do we check it? Well, it's very simple, really. You can either use devices such as these, a test light that I have here, or a voltage meter, or in this case is a multimeter. You can use any of these to check the fuse to see if they're good. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these white ones, or clear. Sometimes they're white, like this one. They're a little less see-through, or clear. They're color coded. Each color pertains to a certain amperage. So these brown ones are 5. These brownish red ones, more like a dark orange, are 7.5, and the amperage is imprinted on them on the face of the fuse there. You see, in this case, these white clear ones are 25 amps. The red ones are 10, blue 15, yellow 20. These we already said were 25. These green ones are 30, and so forth and so forth. They go all the way down to 1. They could go all the way up to 100. For example, these bigger ones, these are Maxi Fuses. This one in particular goes to 100. Trying to get the camera focused here. This one, although it is clear, since it's one of these big ones, it's actually an 80 amp fuse. So as you can see, if you look at the fuse, you see that little bridge in between the two blades there. That is what blows when this goes bad. When you get overcurrent, you get a short or something, or a component like a motor shorts out and it drives that large amount of current, that's what blows. And I'll give you a good example. I'm gonna put this back and I'll show you this 10 amp fuse, that it is in fact blown. If you look in the middle, you can see that bridge has melted. Let me see if I can get you a better shot. There you go. That is melted. That is a bad fuse. Once that blows, that's it. You got to pull this out and pop a new one in. If you have a problem in the circuit that is causing that, like a short, it's going to continue to blow that fuse. So you have to make a repair. If you have a short or something, if you change the fuse and it automatically poop, it pops, that is a tell sign that you have a short in the system. Now you got to chase down a short and see what is causing it. There's other different fuses. They come in all types of shapes and sizes. These are the most common automotive fuses. These are the older style. They're kind of phasing away. These are more common nowadays, these smaller ones. And then obviously you got these bigger ones. These are also common in automotive for bigger components like fan motors and stuff like that. bigger components, they'll use that. These are relays. This is a completely different animal, so ignore that for now. This is a fuse. These are I bought for a Land Rover. This is a 50 amp fuse. There's a fuse inside. You can't even see it. You have to check it with a multimeter or a whatchamacallit, a test light. So this is a fuse. Volkswagens use funny looking fuses that don't even have none of this plastic. It's just a piece of metal with that little bridge looking thing. But then in this box, I purchased this off of Amazon. You can see the different fuses and their amperage, the colors and the amperage. And the more common ones that are starting to be seen out there are these little tiny ones. And they do have names, I just forget of them. They're probably here somewhere. The low profile mini fuse. The low profile mini fuse. They're really small. And I've seen a lot of those in Toyotas and Nissans, and they're starting to be more and more popular. They also have ones that have, instead of these 2 blades, they have 3 blades, so it's 2 fuses in one. It's a little longer. I don't have any here to show you, but it has 3 blades, and the power goes through the middle, and then it feeds 2 different circuits in one one fuse. And then you have some that are very similar to these, but I think they're a little bit smaller, and they got longer blades, longer legs, so they fit in a different box. So you got to make sure you got the right fuse for the application. But that's basically all there is to it. You either use a test light, and what you do with a test light, let me use these big ones because they're easier. You're gonna see the 2 blades actually have a protrusion on the face of the fuse here, one on each side, one there and one there. And what you do is simply use your test light and you check each side. Boom, boom. And this should light up. You put this end to ground, somewhere a good ground in the car. Bump. And if you got power there, this bulb should light up. So it turns on, you know that fuse is good. If you got power here, the light turns on here, but it doesn't turn on here, then you know that this is blown. You need to replace it. Multimeter, the same thing. It's just a little different because you have 2 leads that go here. I just don't have them connected. You have your ground here. You plug this to ground like you would do this. Boom. And this one is the other lead that you would actually use to test if you have power or not. You should read 12 volts. If you're in a 12 volt automotive system, it's going to be 12 volts. If you're using some kind of other machinery or something that the voltage is different, it's going to be whatever that system voltage is supposed to be. But for automotive purposes, it's going to be generally around the 12 volt range. Maybe a couple volts higher than that if the car is on, because when the car is on, it generates anywhere between 13.5 to 14.5 volts. But it's going to be system voltage. You should have 12 volts here and 12 volts here. If you got 12 here and 0 here, this fuse is blown. So quick video on how to tell if the fuses are bad. I hope this information was useful. If you like what you saw and heard, please like and subscribe, and support the channel. And if not, give me a thumbs down. It's all good. So hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys on the next video. Ciao.